I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada. Kind of laughs it off. We're funny, huh? Yeah.
Welcome to Counterculture. Counterculture is the new socially progressive and entertaining news talk radio in our nation's capital on AVR 95.7 FM.
We profile interesting news and current affairs items
in Ottawa, provincially and nationally, inclusive of First Nations communities. Check out our engaging two-on-ones. That is DJ Anna and myself, DJ Canuck, conversating with a special guest. Today's guest is Thahoke Tote, a First Nation social activist, whose interests include truth, justice, and peace.
We and Counterculture on AVR 95.7 FM in the nation's capital also like to check up on international items.
I am DJ Canuck.
And I'm DJ Anna.
Political turbulence picks up in our nation's capital,
with the chance of a Liberal thunderstorm on the horizon.
But while reflecting on politics, don't forget to check out National Aboriginal Day. It is returning to Ottawa and Victoria Island. Come join celebrations on June 21st, 2009. Help welcome some of Canada's best Aboriginal artists.
Lou just won't believe it. Lou is in the bathroom of the outside variety, that is.
When you are in a portable toilet at night, lighting a match to look for toilet paper might not be the best of ideas. More details to follow. Here's what is also making the news on Counterculture.
Making Ottawa's backyards greener. The Ontario Municipal Board told last week that backyard wind turbines would only create 45 decibels of sound, 5 short of the city bylaws. So what are people complaining about? The trial against Ottawa's Mayor Larry O'Brien continues. An ex-businessman accused of crooked dealings. Now that's a stretch, isn't it?
Ottawa's crime rate drops to 7%. But for how long in worsening economic climate?
The Alliance to End Homelessness reports the number of homeless families has increased by a whopping 15.2%.
Jack Layton makes his case. The NDP's Jack Layton accuses the Prime Minister of showing old Reform Party attitudes which blame the victim of conservative economic politics. Ottawa Centre is currently the NDP's lone riding in Ottawa, which is currently represented by MP Paul Dewar.
Toxic soup by the hill. Swimming, anyone? Toronto's Environmental Defence Organisation outs City of Ottawa for dumping toxic metals such as mercury, lead and arsenic into the Ottawa River. Now, doesn't that sound lovely?
Are you a connoisseur of trash? Bruce Deitchman brings together the ugliest things he could find at the Great Glebe Garage Sale in Ottawa.
Do you like great live music from jazz to ska? You may wish to check out the new Bayou just on Bank Street in the Glebe.
Save us from Toronto-style urban sprawl. City of Ottawa Councillor Pete Hume to propose holding the line on Ottawa's urban boundary.
Ottawa's Centretown News reports Ottawa strip clubs are seeking to clean up their image, but the City of Ottawa remains wary.
And now in provincial news, McGuinty wants a national plan to guarantee seniors adequate retirement income. Do you think that he is sincere?
Well, maybe. Perhaps if the provincial treasury still has enough money after the latest in corporate bailouts.
The deadline for the plan to protect the endangered woodland caribou is June 30. Will the Ministry of Natural Resources do enough? Environmental groups say they are playing a balancing game, trying to keep loggers and road builders happy. But what do you think? Have you seen the plan?
With radioactive water continuing to leak from the Chalk River plant, medical authorities are concerned the loss of isotopes could spark a health crisis. The plant produces more than half the world's medical isotopes, and insiders are saying this could be the end of the line for the nuclear reactor.
Are cracks starting to show in the Progressive Conservative Party?
It appears so.
Tory leadership hopeful Christine Elliott accuses her rival Tim Hudak of giving a lift to the Liberals by abolishing the Ontario Human Rights Commission.
That's not the only gift they're giving. Have you seen their latest campaign, Slam Ignatieff? Forget Christmas in July, this is Christmas in June, people.
Are you seeking great food in Ottawa? Why don't you check out the Aboriginal Bistro in the Byward Market?
Now, further across Canada, Question, when is a lake not a lake? Answer, when the Canadian government says it should be a dump for toxic mine waste. Metal mining effluent regulations results in lakes which would normally be protected as fish habitat by the Fisheries Act being redefined as so-called tailing impoundment areas. In 2006, 2 lakes in Newfoundland were added to Schedule 2, and more recently, 2 lakes in Nunavut were approved for destruction.
In other national news, Conservative Party stakes out election turf. Controversial new campaign commercial shows Ignatieff referring to himself as an American and questions his overall loyalty to Canada.
Why is Michael Ignatieff back in Canada after being away for 34 years? Is he here to stay?
Now there's some irony for you. Does Chapter 11, NAFTA and foreign takeovers under the guise of investment mean anything to you?
Party machine in GTA seek to exploit the alleged legal abuses leveled against Liberal MP Ruby Dalla in a so-called Nannygate.
The House of Commons confidence vote will likely take place between June 16 to 18, says Government House Leader Jay Hill. A plan that would unite or divide Canadians. Liberal Party leader Michael Ignatieff said recently that if Liberal NDP coalition supported by the Bloc had come to power, it would have divided Canadians. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? We invite you to call in and give us your thoughts on the issue. Our phone line is, and the lines are now open.
Exporting security or exploiting conflict. The Activist magazine reports that between 2003 and 2005, Canada exported more than $5.6 billion in military exports to 73 countries. 39 of these countries had troops that were then engaged in arguably oppressive major military conflicts.
Family Services in Winnipeg intervenes to protect child. Neo-Nazi parents argue they can teach their child that minorities deserve to die because this is a white man's world. So why can't they send their daughter to school with SWAT stickers tattooed all over her? The social worker testifies that the girl is well indoctrinated into supremacist ideology.
The BC government to deport former KGB officer. Mikhail Lennikov will be forced to leave the country after 11 years here with his wife and son after being denied permanent residency status because of his involvement with the intelligence agency as a young man. He has until June 3rd to appeal the ruling and denies ever wanting to get involved with the KGB in the first place. And now, the latest from People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, PETA boycotts Canadian maple syrup to save seals from clubbing. Next week, we'll boycott Raisin Bran in order to save geckos.
And now to sports. To be or not to be in Phoenix. Gary Bettman and the NHL Elites continue campaign against Jim Balseal and NHL expansion to Canada. Whose game is this anyway?
Really, it's really based on a team that's in a situation that came about, and I put together a proposal that I think is awesome for Canadian hockey fans, to serve an unserved market in Southern Ontario.
And by the way, will Halifax ever get a CFL team?
It's that heathen song, man. We are right. We are right now, man.
Scotiabank Place, Ottawa's premier sports and entertainment venue, presents Elton John and Billy Joel on June 1, 2009. Call 613-599-0327 for ticket information.
You're listening to War Party, man. And this right here's a G-Mac production, y'all.
In First Nations country, diabetes is an epidemic for First Nations people, said National Chief Phil Fontaine. Poverty in relation to